Welcome to another episode of Geekoutdoors.com. And on this episode, I wanted to talk about security yet again. This is probably going to be a regular thing because we do hear about security issues daily, weekly. Everywhere you look, there's always some companies getting hacked or information being compromised somewhere. So this week we have a trio of news. The first being which is probably the largest discovered hack known in technology history. So the FBI has uncovered an alias name, I think the name is Mr. Gray, and they've so far found out that this particular person or group of people have hacked over 1.2 billion accounts. Now, they don't know the extent fully of what's going on or all the details, or even if that's the final numbers. But if you consider that there's about the world population, about 67 billion people, and this is probably going to be about 2 billion accounts that are hacked, that is just, insane. I mean, that is a lot of accounts to be hacked. And, more than likely, they're going to have more news on this as time goes on. But for most people who have had their information compromised, and it's just such a large amount of people, I'm not sure if there's much that can be done, especially if there's a lot of personal information involved. Now, this particular group or person, they're actually found to be in Russia. And, most of the big hacks as of recently, they've either been from Russia or China. And so it'll be interesting to see what they uncover and also what they plan to do with this, which leads me to Hilton Hotels. Now, Hilton Hotels just announced that their payment systems were compromised and it was hacked. And there was definitely some personal information being, taken. Now, this is really unsettling. Most of these hacks, they're not like small. I mean, the ones that at least are publicly announced, they're like on big things that you use regularly. And for you to go into a hotel and check in any one of the properties and then to realize later on that your information's been compromised, it's really hard to fathom that. And once again, they got hacked, and so what they're offering is, they are announcing this to people whose information did get compromised, and they're offering free credit monitoring services for a year. Now, in a previous episode, I did talk about this myself. You could look at the link below, and my own accounts got hacked, and it wasn't through some small stuff. It was some big hacks. And they did the same thing, just gave me a free year of credit monitoring services, and then after that, the credit monitoring companies want to charge you if you want to continue using their service, which is kind of ironic. But we'll see what Hilton does with this. But looks, once again, it's just a standard. We're sorry, our bad, but we're going to give you free credit monitoring services for a year. So we'll see how that pans out. And the final security bit of news is Dell. Now, last year, if I remember correctly, Lenovo was exposed for their Spearfish, basically spyware that they installed on all of their laptops, and maybe even some of their PCs, but I think it was mainly laptops, which allowed a backdoor way for people like hackers to compromise a person's laptop. Now, in this case, it's Dell laptops. They were they found some certificates that Dell had created and installed on the laptops, and these certificates, it's like a security system. The certificate has a secure key, and if you can, get that key, it's a private key, then you have full access to the machine, which is the case with the Dell XPS that they found this on. Now, I'm not sure the extent of how many laptops this is on or which models, but it looks like it's a pretty large amount. And Dell is saying that they're going to rectify this, and in the future, they'll probably remove it. And they said that they put it on there so that they could do support, whenever you call support and they take over your machine. That's really what it was for. However, it's once again, it's like these companies are doing things and they're not telling you about it until they get exposed or until they get hacked, which is, once again, it's just like the whole Hilton thing. It's just like stuff that you use every day, especially your laptop. It's very unsettling. Your laptops and especially your smartphones, those are the most personal things that we use, and they have so much information, but they're constantly being attacked, especially in mobile. So that's basically the three pieces of news that I have today in security. There'll probably be more. Hopefully there'll be some good news out of it. I like to be optimistic, but at this point, for the short term, I don't see it. In a long term, maybe it'll force all of these companies, these developers, and so forth, mainly the companies that are holding our data, to do a much better job of securing our data and finding ways to really help the people who have been affected by this, specifically their clients and their customers. Now, on a different note, on the whole theme of three, this is actually my 30th video. And for anyone who's watching, I just want to thank you for watching. I had I basically set up a 30-day challenge for myself. And so I started this, basically this Geekoutdoors.com about November 21st. And I think as I'm shooting this video, it's November 25th. And my goal was to make 30 videos in 30 days. So I'm a little short of that, but 4 days isn't too bad. Actually, yeah, I'm actually below the 30 days. And so thank you for helping me reach that goal. And if you had any ideas or comments, be sure to leave them below. And as always, if you do like these videos, be sure to subscribe. And for full written episodes, head out to geekoutdoors.com, and I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.